We love you. We love you for rocking with us. So let's go.
For this very special episode of Soundscapes, we spend an hour catching up with Shaq, Demi, and Adam from the band Shademus. Recorded from Folklore Hoxton before their gig there in December 2021, this is Desert Days.
See the pink sunset lift its bell, and you won't find me here. When the sky has fallen, hell has risen, I hope you still be here. When I'm on my own, I want you. When I'm on my own, I want you. You won't know the truth until it comes for you. I'll grip you hard and I won't let go. Don't tell me stop with this loving when it feels so. Don't tell me stop with this loving, I know you want it too. When I'm on my own, I want you. When I'm on my own, I want you. And that is it.
Yo, what's good? Soundscapes Radio, obviously, you know who I am. My name's Chuck, if you didn't know already. And we're here with my host, or not my host, our host, Ornella.
Hello, what's up? Pleasure to be here.
Hey.
Yes, but it's not about us today, is it? Nah. It's about the guys, Shademus. So we're going to give them a round of applause. What's good? What's good, guys?
Yep.
Yeah. If you'd like to introduce yourself, who is Shademus? Let us know.
Starting over here.
All right, Wagwan. My name is Shaq, aka Scott Zylo. I play bass. I do a bit of drums and I do a bit of other things. You know. It's just I'm that guy.
Come on.
Yes.
Yeah, my name's Demigosh. I write the songs and I sing the songs.
My name's Adam. I play guitar and I also have the most boring name in the band.
Adam. That's one of the original names. You know what I mean?
We
Out
got
there,
the Adam
you know
and
what I mean?
Eve set around us as
Come
well.
on, exactly. Got the peaches. you know. So maybe first question, which is probably what a lot of people want to know, and you've probably answered this many times. But where does the name Shademus come from?
Take it, Shaq.
I can take this. So basically, when me and Adam worked at a coffee shop, I used to call Adam a Demus, and
Why?
basically I just called him a Demus because like we used to have sessions and used to do these mad Carlos Santana Spanish licks. So I was like, this brother is not Welsh, he's Spanish, so I'm gonna call him a Demus from now on.
Wow.
And just on one day we was doing a close, and Adam was like, okay, if we had a baby, our baby would be called Shademus. And and then when we made Desert Days, I was like, what's that name you called our baby again? And he was like, Shademus, and I'm like, that's the name of the group, bruh.
Amazing. And obviously, so how did Demi factor into that? Because obviously you guys had made the name Shademus before. I feel like it's got it's got his real name in there somewhere, and also a few of his other letters in there. I was steeping this in my bath today.
It was meant to be.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
That's
really meant to be, wasn't it?
Literally.
You're the love child.
Fully.
Yeah. That's
What can I say?
just put
Fully.
put Adam.
Like, oh, sorry, Demi, you're going.
No, that's going, man.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, literally, that's the beauty of everything, man. Everything's all fit together. It's just, I can't call it a coincidence.
Yeah, I think the one of the things about Shademus is that everything we did just happened to work. We were lucky enough to have the universe on our side, and things have just been fitting in. Shaq came. I met Shaq and Adam. I had met Shaq before at a different show in London, and I met Shaq and Adam at the Ancestral Futures show in London. And then they liked my set. I liked their set. I was like, yo, let's collab. Shaq sent me something, which was Desert Days. He sent it to me. I sent it right back very, very quickly. He was like, yo, this is fire. He was like, I'm going to be in London. Let's have a session. I went to the session thinking I wanted to be in their band. He came to the session thinking he was going to ask me to be in the band. So everything just started happening like that, in that way. And yeah, Desert Days was born. Shademus was born. And here we are today. How many EPs after?
Jeez, it's about four.
4 EPs deep.
Four EPs
In
deep.
2 years, right?
About 1 year,
About
actually.
a year, actually.
Yeah, I was going through the
year of the
streaming,
pandemic.
the Spotify, which we was talking about before as well, but we'll get onto that later. But yeah, you guys, your work rate is actually quite solid, and I think it takes a lot of how would I say, direction and cohesiveness to be able to agree on. Because they're not all of your EPs are very small either. It's not like they're like all 3 songs or something. Some of them are like I think 4, 6, 8. Like
Yeah, Atlantis was the biggest, which was kind of like an LP, but we dropped it as an EP still.
Yeah.
And you're doing this in the pandemic and not living in the same city, right?
Bro,
Yeah, 100%.
I
How
tell
does
you,
that work?
It takes
2020.
It takes hella creativity. Shaq and Adam obviously live in Leicester and I live in London, so Shaq and Adam jam out this I guess I want to say like the ideas. They upload on a drive. I had to literally just imagine the universe that we were taking the direction. So, the drive and the file folder comes with like a brief, and it comes with like images, and it comes with like setting and tones that we're trying to emulate. And then I would go into my room or, well, my living room, or the studio that my friend had that I was able to record majority of Atlantis in. I'd go in there and I'd just transport myself to the universe of whatever it is, and I'd write the songs that way and send it over to them, and Shaq will put finishing touches on it. Adam will put finishing touches on it, and from there, yeah. So it's literally like, it's crazy the way we haven't actually made a song together in the studio yet. Our next project, we're going to be in the studio together for the first time, like actually making music together. So that's going to be weird and crazy.
That's
it might not work. It might just be like, you know what, guys, fuck off. You go back to wherever you came from. I'm going to work from here. Let's just keep it there. But it might also be fucking beautiful, which I feel it would be.
I feel like it's going to be one of those sessions where I'm just going to be recording every single thing.
Every single thing.
Everything.
Yeah, because that's how our first EP came about. Like
literally.
The first session that me and Shaq had, we were just like back to back, and we recorded the first EP in like 8 hours.
It's the exact same with Adam too. Like, I went to Adam's house and we literally recorded 6 tunes in about a day, and that was the whole EP.
Mad.
Like, it was just back to back to back, and I just throwed him a drum loop. He was like, I got an idea. It was like, all right, cool, I can do something with this. You got another idea, can do something with this. And then
a lot of the way that we do stuff is we try not to sort of think too hard about it.
Yeah.
No.
Without that sounding like we're thick.
Yeah.
It's like we'll just scroll through, find something that immediately sort of clicks, and then we'll just sort of go from there. Try our best to not get too caught up in it.
Yeah.
Do whatever we think
Vibes.
feels right and then just carry on.
Yeah.
Literally.
Vibes.
Yeah.
Synergy's mad. You lot are going to be like knowledge soon, just dropping tunes every week.
Synergy
Yeah.
is actually brazy. It's mad. And one thing I will say is that all of you guys seem to have different worlds. You know, I feel like from knowing Shaq from before, the kind of sounds of worlds he was going through, Demi Gosh, and obviously meeting Adam as well with his, how can I say, I would say you're really good at being one with the band, but then also you have your own zone as well. And how do all of those zones come together, like in your eyes? Because from a production standpoint, what Scott was mainly doing before, Demi Gosh, I feel his stuff is a lot darker, and I feel like maybe then you might be a sort of glue as well, who can be in and out of things. Maybe you can explain that before I put things forward too much.
I think a lot of that comes down to sort of Shaq, to be fair. He's sort of like the one that sprinkles like the magic dust at the end and
Yeah, I
everything.
can't lie. Like I owe it all to just be me being just a music nerd, because there'll be like realms where Adam's like playing a blues lick, and I'll be like, how can I turn this into something different? And then there'll just be Adam will just play something, and on the day I won't be feeling it, but then next day I'll just be listening to, I don't know, Spotify, and I'll be like, okay, so that's kind of the direction Adam's going. We can turn this into something. So it's really like I think kind of all of us just have this vibe where we all like trippy shit, and we all like spacey shit, and we just all like soulful, bluesy, whatever. And you know, I kind of like, for me, I love being the glue in everything, man. I love being a collaborator. So it's just a beautiful thing to just kind of all merge together.
Okay, so we have found the glue.
The glue, I know. I can see that. And what are the individual influences you each bring, would you say? Like not the common ones, like the trippy and the blues and the soul, but what like do you feel like that person brings and you bring and you bring?
Yo, Adam, you go first with this one.
Okay, fair. I think that, like, personally, I listen to a lot of sort of metal. That's sort of my thing on the outside. Before meeting Shaq and doing this sort of thing, I'd never even thought of trying this sort of thing. I literally, my whole teenage years was spent greasy fringe, just in my zone, in my bedroom. That was me. I was just that guy. But like trying to incorporate that into some things, like I'd try and do little bits of the bluesier stuff with some of the little metal licks, like especially with Desert Days. That's got some things that, because that was at the very beginning of when we were recording.
Yeah.
I was still trying to tone it down, still trying to sort of focus more on melody.
That was
But
lit though.
I couldn't stop myself from just trying to go all out.
That's what made it sick.
100%, 100%.
But that's sort of my thing, is I guess I'm more like leady rather than jazzy. But then Shaq coaxes the jazz out of me.
Yeah, I just squeeze it out of him.
You saw the jazz in him and you're like, you got it.
In fact, that's actually one thing that you bring to this, to be fair.
Squeezing.
It's squeezing.
Nah, like
you never had a
Shaq
Shaq
is
cuddle, no?
Shaq is like the
should be doing that, you know.
After a long day of doing a session, like the post Arrakis spoon, that was just,
Yeah.
it was
Wow.
beautiful.
Oh, wow.
But
Shaq. You were saying Shaq is like he's basically like the director more than just a producer. You know what I mean? Like Shaq is like, he sees the potential and the direction, and then he kind of guides and bend the track towards that way, which it makes sense. So he has the vision sometimes when we don't kind of see it. And when we don't see where it is and where it's going. So he just like, oh yeah, wait, you do that, and then you do that and mix it all together.
Yeah, it takes a lot of trust, though. I think to be able to trust someone with a vision that you can't initially see.
I mean, like,
yeah,
the way I see it work for me is like when it worked the first time without question, and we had a session and it worked multiple times over and over again in one sitting without a question, then
30.
Yeah.
then you don't need to worry
Trust.
about it anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Those
just one of
things
those
don't
things.
come very frequently.
he's got a very good ear for melody, and I think Demi does as well.
Thanks, bro.
It's one of the things that I sort of lack, coming from more of like a, I guess, riff-based background, just low tune, chuggy stuff. I've never been too great at just picking up a really catchy melody, but one of the things that I think helps us write a lot quicker is you'll hear something, or there'll be something that Demi sings when we get it back, we'll think that needs to be incorporated more. which a lot of the time happens with the solos actually. But in terms of the actual melodies, that's Shaq sort of going, oh no, it needs to be like da 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 da.
Yeah.
And then we'll just sort of track that and see if that works, and then build from there. Sometimes we'll just say mad things like pick some random chords, chuck them
Yeah.
at me, and we'll try and make it work.
Literally, we'll just go on like, I don't know, just a Reddit, and we'll just find, I don't know, trippy psychedelic chords or prog chords, and I'll just dash them to him, and he would just be just vibes in with them, and then I'll be like, all right, we got something.
Yes.
That sounds so fun, so experimental, and almost like, I guess, freeing in a sort of way, because it's not like you have one particular avenue that you go through. But I guess let us hear some of
These chords.
yeah, some of these chords. You know what I mean? So what is your first track that you're gonna share with us today?
The first one we're gonna go with. Actually, should we go with the latest one? Let's go with the latest one. Let's go with Dusk Till Dawn, and that's on our Solaris EP, which is the latest one we just dropped. It's featuring Some Music, our friend from Italy, and she speaks Napolitan in the song there. Yeah.
Yo, when the sun goes down, it's the magic hour. I paint it red when the sun goes down, it's the magic hour. I get wild, make a mess. They say I'm funky, 'cause I can't stand still. But still they want me, 'cause I got the sex appeal. Ain't got no worries, expressing how I feel. And I ain't sorry, so say what you will. Red and white wine and spicy sets me right. 49, red and white wine and boxes. Set me right. 49. Hey, come on, move with me. I got no worries.
That was great. Thank you. As you were
That was-
saying,
that
there's
was wonderful.
vibes from the onset. So yeah, really happy to hear that. Although I feel like maybe the chords in here weren't as trippy as we may have initially thought. So we're
Yeah.
gonna hear those in the other tracks.
Yeah,
but-
that's why I said we should start with the latest, because although we are a psychedelic rock band, we don't sort of just sit in that bracket alone. We kind of step out. Every time we create a new project, we create them from being on a different planet.
Yes.
So our first project, we explored the planet Arrakis, which is the desert planet. And then we went from that to Atlantis. Am I right?
Yep.
Arrakis to Atlantis. And then from Atlantis, we went to Eden, which is like a sort of a summery, spring planet. Spring, summer planet. And then now we're in Solaris, which is like a sort of a summer western planet.
It's pretty much like a road trip vibe, you know. We're because
Felt
Adam
that.
was really heavily like messing with the Americana style, so I thought might as well just do a whole like Route 66 type project where, you know, if you're on a drive, you can just dash this on and just vibes.
Yeah, I really felt that listening to the albums, and I really think it's a beautiful thing that you guys create or coexist in worlds, even though you're not always in the same space, which I find is like really, really crazy.
And you can take us there as well. Like,
Yeah,
you feel it. And I'm
literally.
like, I don't think about Eden much, but I should. I like
yeah,
it.
Yeah, like I feel as though you create a world mentally, and being able to share that with people and to exist in that world is, I think, a very, very powerful thing. And I also believe that when you're in a studio together, hopefully it's not all, you know, rubbish and you don't want to work with each other like that. But I think it will just take it to another level in terms of like the details and stuff. From the artwork, I guess I'm quite a visual person, and I feel like the artwork also allows me to get into the projects. How does the artwork and all of the visual stuff kind of come about for you guys?
That is all on Demi.
Yeah, so I guess I kind of like play the role of like art director in a way, as well as everything else, writing and singing in a band. We try to, we basically, you know, have a conversation about what the planet is and what the characteristics and traits of that planet sort of feels like, and then I would just create a mood board and sort of commission whatever artist we have at our disposal and get them to sort of bring that idea to life. So we try to use the artwork to tell the story of where it is. And, you know, art is it's very important to me, and I'm fortunate enough that these guys help me and let me express that through our releases as well. So every cover art it's something, there's time that goes into the narrative of it. And yeah.
I'm excited to see what other worlds you lot take us to. If I guess you can't disclose what, you know, the future worlds, the future planets you'll be working on, but or can you? That's question A. But question B is, who would you like to like bring into your project, into your future, like I guess EPs? Are there any particular artists that you guys are like, let's bring this person into our world?
Adam's gonna say Youngblood.
Hey.
Oh. Yeah.
You called that one straight.
Yes. To be fair, Youngblood, or at the moment, a guitar player that I would really like to get on one is Ariel Posen. But yeah, he knows I exist.
Yeah, Adam's
The first
on a one with
Yeah.
Ariel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty much my best friend. So absolutely not. He's from Canada and he's awesome.
Okay.
He just knows that I exist. But yeah, I'd like to get him on a song.
Okay, and what would that bring to the table for the next project or song, you think?
He just does some mad stuff. Like he's got a much bigger pedal board than me, so he can get way cooler sounds. And just the way that he plays, he's really emotive and really vocal with it, because he uses the slide a lot, which lets him sort of play the notes in between the notes. It's just really nice. He just basically, he can do vocal lines, he can do vocal melodies and stuff just with the guitar.
What about you, Shaq?
Me, man, I would 100% get Danger Mouse on board, man, because like literally Danger Mouse to me is like music Jesus. Like he's pretty much shaped my whole reality of just like sounds and the way how he takes certain instruments, and the stuff he did with Gnarls Barkley, the stuff he did with Demon Days, the stuff he's done with Black Keys. It's just,
he literally single-handedly shaped the voice, the sound of the Gorillaz. Never mind.
Literally.
Let's not get into that politics
but,
stuff.
But yeah, I would say Danger Mouse, and I would, I would also like to just even chop it up with. I'm honestly free with anyone, man, because for me as a collaborator, man, if they can step into our world, then we can give them
Accommodate
a place. Accommodate
Yeah,
them
for sure.
Yes.
I would say Bon Iver, Justin Vernon. And that's it. Just because he's my dad, and that's it. Let's go.
I feel that your voice reminds me of his.
Oh, thank you.
You're obviously his
that's
son.
a compliment. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dad.
I think we've just manifested your future supergroup. I think we've just
Done.
named everyone. It's going to happen.
Done. Finito.
Yeah. So you were saying before on the first track that, maybe it wasn't as psychedelic as the other one. Is your second track, what is your second track going to showcase of your talents today?
So I can shall I do the
Yeah,
Lost?
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So our second track is going to be Lost Souls, and Lost Souls has a special place in my heart because originally when we made it, we wanted it to be more of like a soulful tune, but Adam just added the elements of psychedelia and
I didn't even like it at the start.
really,
remember?
honestly, we
were all
all
like,
wasn't we all
whatever.
wasn't kind of feeling it, but then I can't lie, it was when I was mixing it and like I just had this whole vibe of like this sounds like some old Memphis soul shit, like just that old kind of can't even think of a name right now, but just that whole kind of era where it was just like they made that dark soul when Detroit was doing that Motown, they were doing that dark shit. So it kind of gave me that vibes of just like of just like dudes just begging on the track, just saying please. It's like that kind of soul. Like it fully put them vibes in me, man. And I was just like when that just hit me and I just got the concept and Adam just hit the solo, it was just like, bro, this
Connect.
slaps.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Should we hear it?
Let's do
please.
it.
Yes, please.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. So you could tell that I don't wanna leave tonight. Let's get high as a kite until sunrise. Tell me everything you do and don't like I won't kiss your lips until you decide. And I confess that you're the best. No one compares, forget the rest. Said I confess that you're the best. You're all I need you ever say. Always thought that I needed no one until I met you. Now you're everything
loved that dreamy soul.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, very dreamy, very I would almost call it like it's like one of those intense dreams where I feel a lot of feelings, and maybe I can't necessarily say everything that happened in that dream, but it's like I'll wake up with a feeling of being in a very deep mood. And I feel the best music is what leaves me with feelings, not sometimes that I just remember the riffs and stuff. I feel like it's that feeling that's transferred. So
You
yeah,
feel
Kinda-
warm inside.
Kind of crazy with that song because like literally when Demi made it, I didn't get it. Adam was like, yes, I like it because Adam he likes his guitar and everything. But then it was just like literally when I was like deep in the words, it kind of literally, how would I even put it, it felt like a film score. Like, you know, in one of those like old 70s Italian film scores where it's just a lady like, that kind of stuff.
unfortunately I don't.
I
and which
want
is,
more of that,
Yeah,
though. That was
because I
lovely.
feel like you have a lot of references that you can pull from.
100, like, yeah, I'm just, I don't know. I'm a man who knows many things, but I don't at the same time.
I love that. I love that.
But yeah, it's like literally like when I kind of listened to the words and just the whole vibe, it literally, I felt like this was like a film score. And then when Demi said this is like a reference to Queen and Slim, and he had the Queen and Slim line, it was like, yo, this makes sense 100% now. Like, I get it. Like, let's make a film score with this. And
Let's see you guys make a film score in the
Oh,
future.
100%.
Yeah,
I
or at
can
least,
see it.
you know, I guess
Hit us up.
videos will be, you can film score your own
Yeah,
videos. if that
manifesting
even
everything
makes
today.
sense.
for sure.
Yeah.
Makes sense, and I like it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I'm very, very glad. So I guess maybe we can start to get into your. We're not going to get into it this second, but in terms of your third track, what
world?
Yes, what world are you bringing forth to us?
see, I would say the best way to put it as so Lost Souls is that feeling you get when when you're in a relationship and it's kind of coming to the end where it's like you feel like it's gonna be over, but you kind of clinging on to that little bit of love. But then Clovis is just like, it's over.
Just like that.
It's just like that.
I felt that in the last track, it was like yearning for something and losing it and grasping for it. So I'm
It's where
excited to
that movie
see
feels coming.
the letting go, the coming of age out of the breakup.
We'll let
heartbreak?
we'll let you guys listen to it, and yeah, it speaks for itself, sort of, in a way.
This
right.
song has a lot of pain, but a lot of love and a lot of
Yeah.
feeling. Like,
When we play it tonight, we're gonna play it with joy.
yeah, we're gonna play it with happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's play Clovis.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
You should've waited on me, yeah. Your time is deceiving, causing me grief. You should've. Now I'm depleting, I'm feeling defeated. You left me with no love, and I'm drained, I'm weak, I'm finished. How can I move on when you robbed me of all I had to give? Loved you with all I had, with all I got. Not knowing you destroyed all that we had. You should've waited on me, yeah. Your time is deceiving, causing me grief. You should've. Now I'm depleting, I'm feeling defeated. I wish you would've held me until the morning before you told
was Clovers. Give it up for Adam. Give it up for Shaq.
There's a bit at the end where you play, like there's the static sound or water sound.
Yeah, like I literally I ran it through like so I put like a tape player sound in there because I thought, you know what, man, I'm already putting VHS sound, so I might as well just go all the way and literally get like static from a VHS and just
I love
underline
that
it.
crackle.
Yeah, gives us that texture, I guess, for that world, which kind of
100%.
reminds me of Lost Souls in a way, if you know what I mean. Like, I feel like because that's super filmy. I don't know the best way to say it, but anyway, I love the textures basically, and I feel like it connects everything together somehow. So
He's very big on that sort of thing.
I love my textures.
You'll notice it in a lot of the songs. If there's not vinyl crackle, there's some sort of like
There's like
hiss.
cassette
or
hiss.
That's
there's-
how you add to the world. It's not just music. You're like, what else would be
birds.
happening on the
Yeah,
soundscape of it?
It's those references, exactly.
Yeah.
As you're saying, the soundscape, those references that pull your mind into those places.
Yeah.
And I feel like
You're living there.
that's how you're able to catch all of these guys' references in that same way.
It's kind of, you know, I see us as like a sci-fi band, so I thought, you know, as well, might as well kind of add the special
Come
effects
on,
in there.
sci-fi.
Sci-fi band. I don't think we've heard of that before. What do you mean by sci-fi band?
I'd say we just add like the space elements, we had the futuristic elements, we had just the retro futureness of things, like, you know, we blend the past, we don't use genre as genre, we use the time of the genre. That's how we kind of create our music, you know.
That's my shit.
We take thing, you know, I get Adam to play a riff from the 70s. I you know, Demi, he sings things like he's in the 90s. I mesh it up and add hiss and all of that and damage it like it's in the 60s. Like, we kind of add that nostalgic element, but at the same time it can be it could be futuristic, you know.
Yeah, I love what you're talking about, that retro future. And I feel as well there's like a word I used to use called future nostalgia, which I think you definitely are in that zone. I would ask, maybe, I guess we could get into some of you guys' references in terms of the tracks. I don't know who wants to go first in terms of playing a track.
But yeah, with the music references, I would say mine 100%, and anything that is kind of experimental, but in a way it has a melody. So yeah, I would say, but a huge one is just Madlib because of textures and just the way how he kind of crafts his soundscape, and he makes everything sound dirty but it's clean at the same time.
Madlib's created worlds that I see that influence so much, like artists
Makes
who are
sense.
taking you somewhere you only expect that. Shall we play your first track then? That is
Yeah, that's
Is it Madlib?
Mad Villainy
Mad Villain.
accordion.
Okay.
Living off borrowed time, the clock tick faster. That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick Dastardly and Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master. ICE Cole, nice to be old. Y2G Steve twice to threefold. He sold scrolls, low and behold. Know who's the illest ever, like the greatest story told. Keep your glory gold and glitter. For half of his niggas to take him out the picture. The other half is rich and it don't mean shit to. Villain, a mixture between both with a twist of liquor. Chase it with more beer. Taste it like truth for dear. When he at the mic, it's like the place get like, oh yeah. It's like they know what's about to happen. Just keep your eye out like I capping. Is he still a fly guy clapping if nobody ain't hear it? And can they testify from in the spirit? And living the true gods, giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords, and they hold the mic in your attention like two swords. Either that, or either one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it. Yeah, it's like the end to the means. Fuck type of message that sends to the fiends. That's why he bring his own needles and get more cheese than Doritos, Cheetos, or Fritos. Slip like Freudian, your first and last step to playing yourself like accordion. When he at the mic, you don't go next. Leaving pussycats like why hoes need Kotex. Exercise index won't need Bowflex and won't take the one with no skinny legs like Joe Tex.
Oh yeah, this is another part of the video thing. So obviously very great track, but I want to hear what the ham bone is first.
Oh, them ones, the little ham bone, man. Man, I need to get in a vibe for that one, man. Just like, you know, sometimes I just go, I can't do it because I'm sitting down.
I feel like you need to get up and show the cameras the ham bone. You slap yourself like you're getting the pastry off of you, like you've just eaten a great sausage roll.
Them ones, I kind of get in the mood. Like,
Man, okay, do you know what? I don't think that the chair's not doing it justice, but obviously hold tight for the show. Probably
Hold tight for the music video
we'll
as
see
well.
better.
trust me. Like when I get my ham bone solo, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit.
And are we gonna get any rapping in any future tracks from you?
From me,
Shaq's gonna be dropping bars, bro.
You're going to get rap versus ham bone versus.
that's it, man.
ham bone versus.
Might even
wow.
whip out a kazoo.
Hello.
Oh gosh.
Hey, talking about kazoo, obviously we just heard an accordion. Obviously, you get me. Like I really feel like this is one of my favorite tracks. Would you guys experiment with more different instruments in terms of like, you know, accordion, kazoo?
See, funny enough, we've kind of actually experimented with like a sitar on one of our tunes on Solaris, and also, you know, we've added some flute stuff, which was kind of fun because at the start Adam was like, "Bro, why are you putting a flute on this?" And then he was like, "Wait, hold on, this actually is quite sick, you know."
Yes. They've been there, done that. They're like, we've done it. Don't worry, Chuck.
Next instrument.
to be honest, man, the way of the instrument, I just say, just throw it in and let me play with it, because I'm fully down for the challenge.
And I guess obviously with the technology now sampling, you could pull in anything that you wanted to, which relates to the world that you're trying to create as well. So I guess we can look forward to
samples.
I can't lie. I'm waiting for Demi to whip out his little voice machine, and we just make a whole tune out of just his voice, just his voice. Like, yeah.
My TC Helicon.
Yeah. We need that, bro. We need that, and I need them Imogen Heat vibes.
That literally, I was saying to Shaq this morning, I can just imagine you like, say.
Oh my god, I'm so ready for that.
That was unison there.
Wow. Oh my god.
Let's go to you then, Demi. Have we got any vocal influences coming up? What's the track you bought?
Like the track I'm gonna pick is called "Praise Lord" by Kanye West off the Donda.
Praise God?
Praise Lord.
Okay.
God?
Yeah.
I think so.
Either
Praise
one.
God.
Same thing.
God and
Same
Lord,
thing.
same person.
I really just fuck with this track because even the arrangement. So when I listen to music, sometimes I listen to the track without. I block out the vocals and I just listen to like the production, and the production has everything. The production has a verse and a chorus. The way the production is composed, it has the main line. It has the beat, and then it has a verse and a chorus, which is basically the samples that Kanye West chops up. And the way he chopped up the samples is like listening to a verse and a chorus, then a verse and a chorus, and then the ad libs serve as like just the bits like that. It's mad. It's crazy. I love it. How does it influence your demons? I have no fucking idea, dude. It's a fucking sick song, and let's listen to it.
Let's listen to it.
That she wrote, speech to the young, speech to the progress toward. Say to them, say to the down keepers, the sun slappers, the self-soilers, the harmony ushers, even if you are not ready for the day, it cannot always be night.
Sir, flex I do work. Work 6 of 'em like Mike. He's out of sight. Whoa, you done got me pipe. True man like Ike. 6 out the spot.
Into the night.
Yeah, I'm shaking the drop. I'm still up on top. I been had the bop. The devil my op. Can't pay me to stop. My God at the top. We gon' praise our way out the grave, dog. Living, speaking, praise God. Walking out the graveyard, back to life. I serve, follow your word. See with new sight.
Into the night.
Yeah, this life I'm living. All the advice been tipped in. Gave me that grip, no slipping. Out of my mind, we tripping. Tell me take 2 when I'm on 1. That look out like no one. Kept it real tight like your son. days I way out the grave, dog. Living, speaking, praise God. Walking out the graveyard, back to life. I serve.
Yeah. Anyways.
Follow your word.
You
Big
could,
tune,
in
big
a way,
tune.
say like, this song has inspired Shademus, just as like, just the fact how Kanye uses his own choir as a sample, but then at the same time reference it. Like I kind of do that with Adam. Like, you know, sometimes I chop up his guitar like a little sample, or like I'll kind of take certain takes that he's done and then just loop them up. So you could say that. You could say that.
Again, that serves into being in your own world again, you know, taking from yourself and repurposing that, which I think is really, really beautiful.
Yeah, and we get influenced every day and we don't even realize it.
100%.
It just happens. But like doing the same stuff as Kanye is like, that's mad. You know, you're already sampling other bits that you're inspired by.
Yeah.
And Kanye creates worlds. Like he's in
Yeah,
his
bro.
own world.
Yeah,
Nobody
he's-
understands it. But
He's somewhere else. Very nice. Adam.
Yeah. I feel like mine's a proper switch up from these now.
Amazing.
Nah, that's good. 'Cause
Jarring.
it literally shows
Nah.
how
you
different the
got
three of
this.
us.
Yeah. I don't really know in sort of how much this has influenced me because I've only just really discovered Ariel Posen this year. But in terms of solos and tones and stuff, a lot of the stuff that he does is he uses more low-tuned guitars. They interact with the fuzz in a little bit of a different way, but the way that he uses fuzz, especially on the solo, is just incredible. It's just one of those things where I love it. He's really dynamic with it, basically. So he's not flat out all the time. He has dynamics. He plays it like a vocal, basically, because he is a vocalist as well. But yeah, this song, I don't even know what more to say about it, to be honest. It's awesome. The way that he plays is incredible. Had a lesson with him, which I was very happy about.
Wait. As in, he's from
incredible.
Canada.
Man, look at you.
Is this online? Is this online?
Oh, it was online.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
See what I'm saying?
I wish
you
it
are
was in
besties.
person.
You are besties. Now. Come on.
let's play it. Enough said.
And this is Adam's best friend, Ariel Posen.
I just can't help it. I just can't quit you. Got me addicted. I wanna lock you up, baby. Feel the head rush. Nothing's gonna stop us from burning out. I get high, waiting for the next time. I feel you rushing through my veins. Something about that taste, it keeps me coming back to you. 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 You make me reckless, chasing down the sun like Jack for breakfast. I wanna drink you up, baby, pour another one. Nothing's gonna stop us from burning it down. Get wasted, wake up and I hate it. I feel you rushing through my veins. Something about that taste, it keeps me coming back to you. Keeps me coming back to you. Keeps me coming back to you. Keeps me coming back to you.
See, you know, I can't lie. Hearing tunes like this, man, it always surprises me why Adam just isn't a D'Angelo fan. Because for me, this is like a mixture of just like D'Angelo, John Mayer, and like some kind of slow, like a slow ballad. Because it kind of has that epicness of like D'Angelo's Vanguard album, but then at the same time it has the softness of like John Mayer. But that's just me just kind of dissecting it still. But yeah, Adam, I need to play you some D'Angelo when we get home. I keep saying this and you will become a fan.
I forget which song it was that you showed me.
Was it how do it feel?
Delicious.
I don't know. Do you not remember? It was something. It definitely had D'Angelo on it.
I think I've showed you many songs.
I love that you guys are getting to learn so much music for each other because you come from different worlds instead of being like,
100.
oh yeah, of course we're gonna vibe on Kanye, of course we're gonna vibe on this person.
100. Like if it wasn't for
So
this
much.
guy, I wouldn't be vibes into freaking 5 Foot Ninja, like
12 Foot Ninja.
12 Foot Ninja.
Oh.
Well, I got the height wrong. But,
5 foot.
5 foot, 12 foot, whatever.
yeah, what's that kind of vibe like? 12 Foot Ninja.
Oh,
It-
honestly.
Next level.
Yeah,
Next level.
I can't lie.
Genre bending.
Best thing to say is like, imagine if you like have one mad gym session, but then in the middle of the gym session, you're just cooling down to some smooth jazz. But then afterwards, it's just like, Invincible! That kind of stuff.
It's mad. They have a song, if anyone's going to check them out, check out a song called Coming For You. It starts off with like proper heavy, genty metal. Then it goes into flamenco, then into disco, and then back to metal.
Interessant. Okay.
Yeah, it's a mad one.
I'm kind of sold.
Yeah,
That sounds
I'm definitely
vibey.
sold on
It's
that.
just crazy.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit chaotic but vibey.
Yeah.
I can't lie. At first, it is a hard listen because for me, I don't know what it is with like metal music. They always like to make their mixes like so much in the high end, so it's like super tinny and it's a super screechy and like. But you know what? When you kind of just listen to it with like a nice medium volume, just in a nice setting, you just walk in. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. But like, yeah, I couldn't listen to like a whole album of 12 Foot Ninja, but I like tunes. Thanks to Adam.
Yeah. Well, I guess you
It's
can
a
take.
beautiful collab.
Yeah, sounds very beautiful, and I feel like it's you can challenge yourself in increments. You know, do a few tracks. Maybe one day you'll work up to an album, but I guess this also is great for you guys because it allows you. How do I say this? All of the genres that you guys know separately, I feel like 12 Foot Ninja probably brings that kind of vibe together, you know, in terms of all of the different genres. Could be wrong. However,
The four genres in one track.
yeah. Obviously, they
The
just do it in a
disco, the
different way.
flamenco.
They separate it, but you guys probably bring it together into one kind of zone.
Yeah.
But with that being said, so I'm gonna bring a track forward which reminds me of you guys, not necessarily in terms of the genre bending, but also the energy that I feel that you guys have together somehow. The track is called Dragon Ball Durag by Thundercat. I'm not exactly sure why it reminds me exactly of you guys, but I thought it in my bath today, and that means it's true. So yeah, if we can run that would be fantastic.
I feel kind of fly standing next to you, baby girl. How do I look in my do-rag? Would you tell me the truth? Stay with me and love me through the night, endlessly. I'ma keep on all my chains when I'm making love to you. Hold me close and let me squeeze you tight through the night. But baby girl, how do I look in my do-rag? Would you tell me the truth? Do you like my new whip? Watch me go zoom, zoom. Baby girl, how do I look in my do-rag? Would you lie the truth? Stay with me and love me through the night, endlessly. I just wanna know how you feel. Tell me, am I doing it right? I may be covered in cat hair, but I still smell good. Baby, let me know, how do I look in my do-rag? Don't lie to me, let me rock you all night long. I'm trying to impress you, girl. Let me know, how do I look in my do-rag? I'm trying to get intimate. Let me love you like you've never been before, baby. You don't have to like my video games or my comic books, but baby girl, how do I look in my do-rag? Did I tie it right? Did you wear that dress just for me? 'Cause I'm trying to smash, baby girl, I'm smashing my do-rag. 'Cause it's only right. Do you like
Yes, I see what you're saying. I see why it would remind you of them.
Yes. Yeah. Well, can I put full words on it? No, but I don't know. But it does definitely remind me.
It's making me do like involuntary stank face.
Involuntary.
100.
It's got that dreamy soul that we were talking about earlier, but the stank face too.
And I feel like it's probably not too thought about, you know,
Yeah,
like
Thundercat is sick.
yeah, that kind of thing. Like it's not like, oh yeah, a baby girl, in my do-rag, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's a flow.
I was actually just listening to a Knowledge remix of this, which is also
Okay.
mad. Obviously, he's always mad.
I
That
need
one's
to
sick,
check
yeah.
that. So
He
what?
just like samples it in a mad way, as he always does.
I'm gonna check that today.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thundercat's just different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
free-
dope.
free
That's
guy.
sick. That's sick, man. I wonder what song you picked.
Me?
Yeah.
The song I picked, well,
I don't know if that was a sin, but that's got.
It's not a sin, bro. Do-rag is cool.
Do-rag is cool. The song I picked, I think
I don't wear it though. So
the vocals that you bring was why I think I picked that song, the Jack Herrera, and the
wow.
album I
I
discovered
don't know
it.
who Jack Herrera is.
Yeah, I only discovered it this year. It's
Nice.
like it was unreleased. It came out in the noughties, but they only published it like 4 years ago. And John B's in the band. It's like 3 people, and it's the closest thing I've heard in a long time. That's like D'Angelo. That's big. That's a big claim.
Ooh, that's a big claim.
ready.
Big
I'm
claim.
keen to, I'm keen to
go.
hear
Yeah,
that. Let's hear
and
it.
let's play it.
Doctor, can you help me out? Prescribe something, make my high come down. I can't eat, I can't sleep at times. I think I'm going out of my mind. I'm hearing voices inside of my head, seeing shadows at the foot of my bed. Tell me what can I do to remedy these lovesick blues? Elevating my mental state. Intoxicated, I'm racing like a fiend. Just not think it's over till it takes total control over me. I get high. Seem to get my thoughts together. Could it be temporary, or could I be addicted to you? I'm struggling to find myself. See, I'm lost in
You know, I always like a song. I always know I really feel a song when I can hear, when you can hear yourself on it,
Yeah,
or you can hear a version of yours that you can make to it.
yeah, I feel that.
Yes, okay, I'm glad I'm introducing you lot to Jack Herrera. It's happening. And I think they came together, like the 2 of them were the backing vocalists for John B, and they were just like on their tour bus, and then they were like, we vibe, let's just be a band. Kind of like the way you guys are organic, you know?
That makes sense. That's
That's some
sick.
smooth
Yeah.
ass shit.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah, that's nice.
this is like that love child of Prince and D'Angelo, man. That I was just like, it's just,
yeah.
it's that creamy. It's like a Werther's original. It's just creamy.
Wow.
It's creamy.
These motherfuckers are singers.
Honestly.
You can tell they sing. They actually
They
sing.
sang.
That's dope. And just to say about the do-rag song, it's it's nothing to you. I just don't vibe with that song at all.
that's
It's
so
just
fair,
like
that's
it's
so
just like
fair.
it's a known thing.
I kind of learned that the hard way still.
Yeah. Shaq had to learn it the hard way. Yeah, it was like I'm just Thundercat is cool. I just don't know what it is about that song.
Is it because it's a song about a do-rag?
Yeah, and I'm bald, and I don't wear do-rags. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just hating on the guy because he just wears a do-rag. Maybe it's just the fact that like he wears a do-rag and I can't wear a do-rag, and I'm just like, oh my god, I can't sing that song because I would look stupid. Maybe, who knows?
No, you got something to do, bro. We could do something for you.
Yeah,
no,
you
I'm
could-
cool.
you
I'm cool.
could
My
rock a
beanie.
do-rag.
If was singing, I'm got beanie man. You know, like I got a
connect.
beanie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Beanie
hand
man's your
all that
guy.
shit. Yeah. Anyways, this is dope though.
I'm glad. I'm
it.
glad.
This one is cool. I'm a fan of the backing vocals. Or those harmonies.
You will fuck with D'Angelo then.
Yo, bro, literally on the way home,
Let him
I'm
take you.
I'm sending you a bunch of D'Angelo. Because
I
when
may
D'Angelo
listen to
hits those falsettos, oh my days, it's like
I am so excited for your sexy R&B awakening.
Right.
It's-
That's nice.
It's never too late. Yeah, I guess I want to know a little bit more about. I know we spoke about what you guys might do next a little bit, but like what else is in store for what should we say 2022? Like whether it's tours, whether it's collabs, whether music videos.
A lot of stuff.
it's just
Yeah.
It's just a straight world domination.
Come on.
That's all we're doing. That's all we're
Yeah.
gonna strive for is just world domination, man.
to break that down into a few points.
Yeah, I
See
was
what
like-
you're doing. See what you're doing.
We'd like to obviously play more shows to people like through Spotify. We've been able to see like where our music's been played and stuff.
And where is it?
America, Australia, New Zealand.
Yeah.
I
It's also
I can hear that.
Germany,
Japan as well.
and Netherlands.
Yeah.
We
So
got
like
big
we'd love
things.
to just like go around these places and play our music for these people, because obviously the live experience is always different to the audio experience. And yeah, build more another project. Working together in a studio, the three of us, and sort of try to find a way to release that in a way that it has more impact and reaches more people, and gets out there, and more people can, and maybe like stuff we're saying, like be able to basically articulate the universe that we are creating or are referencing or trying to show people that we're in, and with that album, so either articulating through visual images, moving images, artwork, shows, concepts and stuff like that. We'll try and do more of that in the coming year.
That's
Just levels on levels on levels.
That's
Yeah.
mad. I'm excited, and the pandemic ain't gonna stop it next year. That's what we're saying.
Fingers crossed.
But visually, I'm intrigued to know if you're gonna have, not to like copy the Gorillas, but like, is it gonna be like lots of like these kind of like completely, like maybe you guys aren't even in the videos, like you're just creating completely new worlds through animation, through I don't know, nature.
I think there's going to be an element of like animation and sort of guerrilla style characters and stuff, but I think we'll find ways to tell stories that still involves us being in
Just
it.
spacesuits. Like
Yeah.
if we all dress up as like spacemen,
Yeah.
and then
Explorers, world travelers.
we're just space nomads.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, fully hear that. For me personally, I want to know, how do you guys love the live performance aspect? So you was talking about, the music being felt differently when you're performing. What are your favorite aspects of performance, basically, or what do you like about the live performance space, basically?
I think it's just nice to get people in the same room.
Yeah.
It's nice to get people in the same room so that you can all enjoy the same thing.
Yeah.
It's something that we've
It's a
not.
nice succinct. makes
Simple sentence.
Yeah, literally. Just to get people in the room and play the songs to them and get a live reaction, vibe off each other.
It's also
and-
nice to have fun with these guys too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's pretty much the only time that we actually all get together.
Yeah.
Is either when we're practicing for a gig or when we're actually gigging.
Yeah. So we just get to I guess, have fun with each other as well and hang out.
Bring the world on stage.
Yeah, for real.
That's it. But it's also the fact that when you're doing stuff live, it's sort of a license to not do everything the way that it is on the recording. Especially with some of the newer stuff that we're doing. Like tonight, we'll be doing Dusk Till Dawn, which you heard earlier. And that's like one of my favorite ones to play, because for the life of me, I can't remember how I played it in the studio. So I just sort of get to make it up as we go along. So it's
rearrangements.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a 5-minute long improv.
Yeah.
Nice. Sometimes I see songs as like templates, I guess composers back in the day used to compose their music, and maybe certain people used to play it in a specific way, but I guess now you have the space to take it wherever you want. Like when I watch live performances of other people, let's say like Linkin Park or something, I see that they'll take it in another direction, which still speaks to the main message, but it's really a certain version for that time and space. And yeah, I really, really love that.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate that.
And also, if you come to a live show, you get to see Demi do this weird dance thing.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh, we saw some in the rehearsals.
What, the one that I saw in
Yeah.
in rehearsal.
I genuinely have no idea how the fuck you're able to do any of that.
It's the spirits.
I struggle to get up a curb, and you can like flat out dance and do all of that stuff.
I don't know about any of that now, lads.
Next year for World Domination, you're all going to be doing the same moves.
Just catch the
boy
Holy
band
Ghost
style.
on stage.
Little dance routine.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, we can be like full on NSYNC.
Guys, you started this. No. Out, done.
You've all got your separate dance moves anyway, you know what I mean? Even Adam, I saw him with a little foot at the back.
Drawing a line.
Guitar, you know what I mean? So,
I don't want to be Joey Fatone from NSYNC.
No.
Which one's
Justin
Joey
Timberlake with the little
Fatone?
noodle hair.
Okay, guys.
It's not happening
Sorry,
apparently.
We brought up hair.
All right,
Guys,
all
we
right.
brought up hair.
I guess, yeah. So I guess this kind of leads us into the last few minutes. I would always advocate, tell the people a little message that you want to, share with them in a video, or, anything else that you feel like. Is there any specific message you might want to put out to the people right now?
Well, we also know you all do your own musical things. So like, what else is like happening? What's keeping your creativities afloat?
I'll just say I'm not cool enough to have my own musical project.
Yeah,
This is everything
cool
that I
enough.
do. I'm
Yeah.
just not cool enough.
I don't believe that.
You are so cool.
Yeah.
Have you heard your guitar playing?
No, it doesn't count. But I'm not cool enough to do my own thing, so I have to rely on this to do my thing.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm happy that we have all of these different little planets and all of these different little bits and places that we can go to. But I don't know what these two are working on. This would be news for me too.
Me, I'm fully 100% dedicated my life to Shademus, man. So it's like one of those ones where I don't know. I might just do an MF Doom thing and just come back as the villain and just say fuck everyone and just start rapping and shit. But you never know, man. You never know with me, because I like to be unpredictable and I like to do something new. But right now, Shademus, I can't lie, I'm kind of married to this band still.
Yeah. As of right now, it's all about Shademus. And yeah, I think next year should be interesting for sure.
I'm kind of at a point where I'm not gonna stop until I get my own Shademus water. Like,
boom,
water,
bro.
Wow.
Like, bro, you like, I want Shademus everything.
Shademus everything.
like, give me a Shademus water, and then
Shademus
we get flavors.
do-rags, I guess.
We get the Adam apple flavor. Shademus do it, no. Don't tempt me.
Hell
I'm
no.
always.
Hell no.
I tried to buy Shademus towels at one point, bro.
True.
I still say that we
You
need
just said
that.
world domination.
Yeah,
man,
I was
Yeah.
just going to say that World Domination needs full commitment. I get it. I
Straight
get
up.
it.
There's a
Yeah.
dedicated.
Shademus all the way. Well, that was so nice to hear all your influences.
Thank you.
Thank you
you.
for
It
sharing.
was nice
them,
chatting
and
to you about.
We're excited to see all the worlds, and we're excited to see it live as well.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I think we're all looking forward to actually playing live now.
Yeah. Should be fun.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Come on. Yeah, obviously you know where it is. You've been listening to Soundscapes Radio. Come on.
Big up.
Yes, all of that jazz.